Welcome to Trucker Reacts. Got a video here from Kristi Noem, Director of Homeland Security, talking about a crackdown in Indiana, getting illegals off the road. So let's play it. Now, this is a long video. I'm going to cut most of it out, or a lot of it out, just Kristi Noem parts. And let's see what's going on.
Years and 18-wheelers, and understand they're difficult to stop, maneuver. You have to have a skill set, but also communication with those around you. And certainly in your training, that's important to make sure you're operating it safely. Putting them behind the wheel of these tractor trailers weighing tens of thousands of pounds loaded with explosive fuel down the highway endangers every single citizen that is on our roads. Today, these individuals will speak about some of those incidences that we've seen, but also what we're doing to clean up this activity and those dangers every single day. Now, through our 287G partnership that we have with the state of Indiana, we have run an operation recently which has allowed to hundreds of arrests that has brought people in that are breaking our laws. Through that partnership, 223 illegal aliens have been arrested and taken off of our roads.
223.
Of those, 146 of them were drivers. That includes 46 semi-truck drivers and another 82 of them that were either box trucks, buses, moving vans, vehicles such as that. The CDLs that were issued to those individuals were issued from over a dozen different states. Many of those individuals could have been licensed in a state somewhere and received their CDL in another state, but overwhelmingly, these individuals have come from sanctuary states such as California and Illinois and New York. If you are here driving on our streets illegally and our highways, you are endangering our citizens and your days are numbered. I want to thank Secretary Sean Duffy from the Department of Transportation for all of his work too. You've seen him focus on the effort to get these individuals off of our streets, and I want to thank him for doing that and implementing new policies and regulations that will keep our citizens safe. Too many families across this country have felt pain and been victimized and lost loved ones because of these illegal drivers. Just earlier this month here in Indiana, we saw an illegal alien from Serbia and Montenegro was operating his semi-truck without a valid commercial license. He swerved into oncoming traffic and killed Jeffrey Eberly. Wow. In August, Indian illegal alien killed 3 people in a reckless driving highway incident in Florida. And I think most of you remember the news coverage from that, but the devastating impacts of that loss. That CDL had been issued in California by Governor Gavin Newsom. Just last week, another Indian illegal alien killed 3 Americans on a highway in California. He was intoxicated behind the wheel of his truck. Every single time one of these individuals gets behind the truck, on the wheel of a truck, they are in front of a deadly weapon that can kill other Americans as well. Behind me, you will see 4 different placards of individuals that we're talking about today specifically. These individuals are some of the worst that we've been able to arrest under Operation Midway Blitz. The first one I'll talk about is from Mexico, and this individual was convicted of felony cruelty towards a child. He was also previously found to have possessing a fraudulent driver's license as well, and guilty of that and convicted. The next one is a criminal illegal alien from Mexico who was convicted of vehicle theft and apprehended for possession of a controlled substance. The third individual that you'll see in front of you today is a criminal illegal alien from Nicaragua. This individual was charged with a DUI, then assault with a deadly weapon, possessing narcotics that are for sale, and transporting drugs. He also was convicted for disorderly conduct and prostitution. Another illegal alien from Colombia in front of us, which is the 4th individual I'll talk about today, has an active criminal arrest warrant for theft out of Texas. During these targeted operations that we've conducted in Indiana, we've also arrested several other illegal aliens with wide-ranging criminal histories. 6 of those individuals were convicted of assault, drugs, selling drugs, prostitution, and operating while intoxicated. 5 of those individuals were arrested for drugs, theft, and burglary, and 5 others were arrested for battery, child abuse, domestic battery, and driving while intoxicated and fraud. You can see from the work that these partnerships build on, that we work with other states such as Indiana and Governor Braun and his team, that many dangerous, criminal, illegal aliens are taken off of our streets, that our laws are upheld, and that Americans are protected because of the operations and the work that's being done. Since the beginning of Midway Blitz, ICE and CBP and our state partners have arrested more than 3,000 illegal aliens, including rapists, murderers, and gang members that have been brought to justice. And listen, we don't want any of these individuals out on our roads, and we don't want them in our communities, and we especially don't want them behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler when they can't speak our language, they don't understand our laws, they can't follow our roadway signs, and they can't interact with law enforcement or our citizens. It's dangerous, and it's not going to happen under the Trump administration like it did under the Biden administration. Thousands and thousands of Americans are protected because of the work that's being done with states such as this. United States Citizenship and Immigration Services is also working to fix some of the safety issues that we've been seeing across our country. They just ended a policy that allowed illegal aliens work permits that automatically renewed those work permits without any additional vetting. That will help us get some of these CDLs out of the hands of individuals who may be driving these trucks right here today. The illegal alien that was charged with throwing an anti-Semitic Molotov cocktail earlier this year in Boulder, Colorado, got a work permit. He got it renewed under the former policy, and he got it with an expired visa. This policy is now changed because of the good work of USCIS. Now people will be re-vetted and have to be reapproved in order to get that work permit that could potentially be used to garner a CDL and get on the street. Law-abiding Americans should be able to use the roads without being scared for their safety. They shouldn't have to worry about themselves or their children or what they're doing when they're going to church, going to work, or going to activities every single day. No father should have to fear being rear-ended by a semi-truck at full speed while he's simply on his way to work to provide for his family. No mother should have to be afraid of an illegal alien running into her with her children when she's got little kids in the back seat in her car seats. I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother, and I can't imagine what would happen or how I would feel if one of my children or grandchildren were hurt by someone who was never supposed to be in our country in the first place, much less behind a truck like this and given permission from an irresponsible, reckless governor like Gavin Newsom or Pritzker or anyone else in this country that chooses to ignore our laws and put illegal criminals ahead of our American citizens. With state partners like Governor Braun and like the state of Indiana, people will be safer, people will be protected, and our laws will matter. That's what's special about this country. It's what's amazing about President Trump and what he's doing to make our streets safer. And I'm so grateful for all of his work and the ability to protect our law enforcement officers as they go out and do their work every day protecting American citizens. And with that, I will turn it over to Governor Braun to make some statements for all of you.
All right, we're going to cut it off right there. Fast forward a little bit to the governor and a couple other people speak. We're going to watch this full press conference. You can find it on YouTube. Just search Kristi Noem, you'll find it. And Kristi comes back in. Let's see, right. Oh, she's already in there. What happened? I missed it. It's right here. Okay, let's start right here.
We need to work throughout the country to make sure that we are doing our jobs to put the American people first. Governor Braun and Superintendent, I'd like to thank you for defending the homeland, for choosing to put the American people first and the state of Indiana first. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Secretary Noem. Thank you.
Secretary.
Well, thank you, and thank you to everybody who's here today to focus on this important operation that we're utilizing to make our roadways safer across this country. I think awareness to this issue really came to the forefront when that accident happened in Florida. And we saw that illegal alien take the lives of 3 individuals who were just out on the road enjoying their family members that day and lost tragically their lives because of someone who didn't understand our laws or didn't have the respect to follow them and certainly wasn't supposed to be here in the first place.
Right.
That's when we really started to focus on illegal aliens in this country who have CDLs, who they were granted those CDLs.
he tried to get out of the country. The next day, or right after the accident, he got his way back to California, and the lieutenant governor here in Florida sent the marshals out there to arrest him in California, hold him, and the lieutenant governor went out to California by himself, brought him back, where he's still awaiting trial in jail, no bond.
CDLs by the damage that sanctuary states can do when they give driver's licenses and CDLs to individuals who don't understand our language, don't understand our laws, and then they give them the latitude to get behind a truck like this. And we recognize that we needed to do targeted operations across the country like the one that we've done here in Indiana. 223 illegal aliens have been taken off of these roads because of this work that was done under Midway Blitz with the partnership of Governor Braun and his team. We're so grateful for that. But it's not just happening here in Indiana. In fact, in Oklahoma, we've had an operation going the last few days. Over 250 illegal aliens have been arrested there. By making sure that we're checking who's driving these trucks and if they should have a CDL in the first place and if they're following the laws in this country. Listen, our job every single day at the Department of Homeland Security is to keep the American people safe, to protect our homeland and to defend our homeland and to enforce our laws. We don't pick and choose who our laws apply to. They get applied equally to everyone, and we always put American citizens first because that's what our Constitution guarantees us. We are so grateful that we have a president who understands and respects the law, that lets our law enforcement officers go out every single day and do their jobs. Completely different situation than what we saw under the last administration. Our ICE officers, our CBP officers, our highway patrol, our local law enforcement officers are so thankful that they get to go out every day and do a work that keeps their families safe and keeps their communities safe. And we're so grateful that we have partners like we do here in Indiana that will continue to allow us to do this good work. What we've seen in attacks on ICE officers is unacceptable. The 1,000% increase in attacks on them is unacceptable. We just recently have learned that death threats against our ICE officers is up 8,000%. Now, I'll remind you, every single ICE officer has someone who loves them, has a family member, someone who cares that they come home at night. And death threats against them, people who want to kill them, have increased by 8,000%. What I would encourage all of you today is to go focus on telling the story of a law enforcement officer. Go thank them for their service. Go support their family members. Be grateful that we have communities that are safe. And spend at least 5 to 10 minutes today thinking, what would you do if we did not have law enforcement officers in our communities and in our states and in our country keeping us safe? What would this country look like if they didn't get out of bed every day and go to work proud to put on that badge, to put on that uniform, and to go fight to make sure that everybody can live safely and can have a future that they can be proud of in the greatest country that ever existed? So with that, I will open it up to any questions that you may have. Yes.
I don't know. I'm not going to play this question and answer period because they don't have the audience or the press mic'd up and you can't hear the questions. So we're kind of go in this conference right here. And crazy stuff. They're trying to get them off the road. A bunch in Oklahoma, now a bunch in Indiana. And is it going to continue? I would think so. And it's a shame that it just took years and years, people dying, for them to start doing something about it. So let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about this situation. I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.